him to spend a few more nights in the home and he could smoke on the balcony. However, Mustafa explained that he liked being in a different environment, in different places. He gets bored being in the house. He likes chatting to people when he's there. And it's his relief, his winding down time. And Mustafa struggled to see how he was causing anyone in the family any harm if Christina was asleep and the children were asleep. Mustafa blamed Christina for being controlling. He couldn't understand why he should stay home alone by himself when he's sociable and he likes to see the different scenery and he enjoys it. And Christina was struggling to see the fact that Mustafa is not living the family life. Staying out till 2 a.m, she said, was affecting his energy, his mood the next day. And she also hated the smell of the smoke in his clothes, in his hair. And I'm not sure whether it's true, but around the Middle East, there's a belief, I probably should check, that one shisha is equivalent to 20 cigarettes in terms of health damage. That's according to what everyone says, so I don't even know if it's true. So she was really, and she told me that as well, and she was really worried about that. And it was affecting their intimacy because he was getting home so late, and Christina certainly didn't want to be woken up to be intimate. And in the morning, he was tired, and she got up early to sort out all the children and get everything ready. So this is how an addiction, and this can be any addiction, can impact couples. There's the lying, there's a separate living, there's a distance, there's a lack of attraction, whether it's mental or physical. So it's really important to find some kind of compromise. So I'm going to go into some tips now, and before I go into some tips, it's important to understand the statistics on nicotine patches. And this is that nicotine patches are only 25% effective in helping someone quit smoking. So rather than the physical addiction, it's the habit and the emotional benefits that we believe, not the physical, that actually create addictions. Because if it was just the chemical side, then nicotine patches would be much more successful. People would get their nicotine and that would be it. And there's countless other studies that show with other different addictions and drugs and things like that, that physical body can adapt very quickly and be fine without that. It's the emotional craving and habit that needs to be addressed underneath it, and the different beliefs. So I'm going to share some of the tools and techniques that I use when people come to me wanting to give up an addiction, in this case, smoking addiction. So hypnotherapy, you've heard me talk about that probably a few times, and some people unfortunately have a very negative view of hypnotherapy because they relate it to the stage shows where you're going to cluck like a chicken or bark like a dog, or they see it in the movies where they take someone back into their past and they dig up memories. And I don't use hypnotherapy like that at all. All I use it for is when a person is in a very relaxed state, which is just by telling them to focus on their breathing and to relax and to close their eyes. When they're in a relaxed, trancey kind of state, you can then give suggestions to the unconscious mind for the unconscious mind to follow, which is really powerful. So that's why I use hypnotherapy in all the addiction programs that I run for people. And before I have people come to me, whether it's with emotional eating, smoking, alcohol, I have them fill out a chart. And this is the smoking questions, and you can actually apply it to any addiction. And it's a really good thing to do because you'll be able to spot those emotional reasons and triggers, the feelings that lead you to pick up a cigarette, as well as the habits. And this, again, can be through any addiction. So I ask them to answer these 7 questions. What am I feeling when I light up a cigarette, or when I pick up that food, or when I do whatever? What am I thinking? Who am I with? What time of day is it? How do I feel after? And what was I doing at the time? So you may want to rewind this and play that back, write them down, and then start to do that. Highly recommend you do it for a minimum of 7 days, up to 14 days, every single time. Some people quit smoking just doing this chart for me because they get so fed up of having to write out the answers to these questions that they go off the smoking. And so once I have this, we can look at how to put in positive benefits to quitting smoking, which I tailor for each client, because there's not a one size fits all with giving up an addiction. Of course, some people are motivated to quit smoking because they have children and they don't want their children to smoke. Other people are motivated for their health. Other people are motivated for more attractiveness, a better sex life, more energy. It can be anything. So I first find out the individual reasons, the motivation, the benefits of what quitting smoking is going to bring for them. And let's not forget the financial impact. For a lot of people, especially in certain countries where it's really expensive to smoke, they want to spend that money on holidays, on fun money, and treating themselves to different things. So I take all of this and I create a positive suggestion hypnotherapy track. It is really like a guided meditation, and it's just telling your mind how you want to be. And then I also will put in, and you can easily be around other smokers and not be tempted. You can easily finish your meal without the urge to have a cigarette. So I find out from that individual what are their triggers, what are their habits, what are their emotions, and have them visualize in the meditation hypnotherapy track that they can do all of those things without it. So I'm just giving this overview to you so you know how it works. And if you do go and choose someone in your local area, I highly recommend that you choose someone that gives you the recording. Every single hypnotherapy or meditation that I create for someone, I give them the recording, because the unconscious mind follows instructions and does best when these instructions are repeated. Some people can get great results from one session. Other people need to repeat it. And why pay more when you've already paid for that time and that special session? So if you're interested in finding out more about that, you can of course email me or go to my website. Everything is listed on there. The second thing is doing some reflection. And this is where I explore with clients the underlying triggers or events that caused them to turn to smoking, or where their need to smoke intensified and became an addiction. We address the underlying beliefs and feelings and change them. For example, one man started smoking when he was touched up by another boy at school at 16. We needed to deal with those feelings then. One lady, when her husband cheated, that's when she started smoking, or picked up smoking again. She smoked as a teenager. Another man, when he lost his business. So we need to deal with the underlying emotions and feelings and beliefs. Like the man that lost his business felt like, I'm a failure, I'm not good enough, I'm weak. And so the cigarettes were, he believed, helping him with that. So in all these cases, there were strong emotions of anger, betrayal, self-loathing, sadness that were present. Unless the emotions are released, people can go from one addiction to the other, which is why I do my breakthrough programs for people sometimes with addictions. Because let's say I help someone do a smoking hypnotherapy and they quit smoking, and then they get a food addiction, or then they get a shopping addiction, or then they get another addiction. And beneath that is often beliefs like, I'm not enough, I'm disgusting, I lack confidence. And they fill a void in them with the addiction. So helping people to really love themselves, helping people to really become their best version of themselves is so, so important. And being able to clear these triggers can make sure that they're going to live healthy, happy, focus-driven lives and be the person that they want to be. The next thing, that this is an absolute must, healthy alternatives. I really believe, this is my personal belief, with my own addiction experience and helping others, that you can't say to yourself, or it's not very helpful to say to yourself, right, I'm not going to do something, and not give yourself different things to do instead. What are some of the healthy alternatives that you're going to do instead? Like, I'm going to go to the gym, or I'm going to drink water, I'm going to have herbal teas, I'm going to do a meditation if I have a craving, I'm going to play some music, I'm going to start salsa lessons, I'm going to do different things. So first of all, when I'm looking at healthy alternatives, I find out when people smoke and what is the emotion. And that's why I do that chart at the beginning. So some people smoke because of boredom. Some people smoke because they need to do something with their hands. Some people smoke to reduce the loneliness. Some people smoke because of stress or anxiety. So we need to deal with those with a different habit. And then the fourth thing is tasking. So sometimes I ask clients to do a task if they smoke. And I design this with the client, and it's like super effective. And one guy that I worked with, for example, he used to love it when his car was really clean inside and outside, but he hated cleaning his car. He rarely found the time to do it, and it would irritate him that his car was dirty inside and outside, and that he just left it like that. So to help him quit, we said, because he decided he didn't want to give hypnotherapy a go. So we said, okay, so for every cigarette that he smoked, he had to spend an hour cleaning his car. And then if he smoked another cigarette, then he would have to do his wife's car for an hour. And if he had more than two, then he would need to do his mother's car and his brother's car. And he soon stopped smoking because cleaning the cars outweighed the benefits of smoking. So this is kind of like ordeal therapy, tasking therapy, and this is really effective as well. And again, it has to be designed with the client. And then there's values. So in my holistic life therapy training, I teach a lot on values, and it's about motivating someone by what is most important to them in their life. And often people forget about the reasons that they want to live healthy, long lives. They forget, or they just get into the day-to-day life that they haven't really taken time out to look at some new exciting challenges or goals, really special things that they really want to do. So it's so important to remember when it comes to healing from addictions that this is not really you. If it's hurting you, if it's harming you, if it's affecting your relationship, you can change it. The most important thing out of everything I've said is to have that belief in yourself. You are in control. You are in control. Whether it's alcohol, whether it's smoking, whether it's drugs, I get people to really believe that they're in control. And when they really believe that they're in control with the subconscious mind, they become in control. And it's very powerful. So this is the most important thing. Realize that you can control it, even if you've been telling yourself that you can't. If you're interested in finding out more about my breakthrough programs or my hypnotherapy, then feel free to email me, nb@nicolabeer.com, for more information. And there's also the page on my website with the prices and the details of my couples program, my breakthrough program. All the information is there if you would like to find it at nicolabeer.com. Well, thanks for listening. Wishing you a great week ahead. Take care. Bye.
Thank you for listening to How to Save Your Marriage with Nicola Beer. To book your free marriage strategy session today, you can visit www.nicolabeer.com, where you can also get the free marriage fixing ebook, request a topic for the show, and make a donation if the show has been of benefit to you and you want to help keep it going. We wish you an amazing love-filled day ahead. Thanks for listening to the Relationship and Wellness Podcast with Nicola Beer. If you are interested in finding out more about becoming a holistic life therapist, would like to get Nicola's mentorship directly, or check out the award-winning audio programs, visit www.nicolabeer.com today. Subject to availability, a wait list may apply.